Greetings everybody, this is Pavlos Lakuretos here for Wager Talk TV with a free play in the Champions League quarterfinals. We got the second legs on Tuesday and Wednesday. We got a huge match between Aston Villa and PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, going live on Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern. But before that, we are on a 22 and 10 run in 5% totals for plus 39 units and 10 and 4 run in 5% UEFA totals for plus 23 units. We had a nice week last week, plus 15.46 units, 17 and 9. We didn't lose a single 4% best bet. We won 3 and 1 was a push. We are hitting up in the best possible time in the season because, I love the ending of the European competitions, the start of the Latino American competitions. We got a lot of action and we traditionally do very, very well at this point in time. So we have a 5% Champions League top bet loaded for Wednesday. And again, we have a nice promo. You can use code SOC7 to get 7 days of soccer for just $49. And that includes my 5% for Wednesday and of course all the other plays for a week. And we have a lot of action across the globe. Now onwards to our free play. Aston Villa versus PSG, 3 p.m. Eastern start on Tuesday. PSG, they beat Aston Villa by 3-1 in the first leg at home. Now they are almost with 1 foot in the semi-finals. However, this is a fateful match, if you will, because these two coaches, Unai Emery, who now is employed by Aston Villa, and Luis Enrique, who is now employed by Barcelona, they were part of the biggest turnaround in the history of the Champions League back in 2016-2017. Unai Emery's PSG had beaten Luis Enrique's Barcelona by 4-0 in the first leg at home. Everybody thought, PSG are through to the semi-finals, but the unthinkable happened in the second leg in Spain, where Barcelona beat PSG by 6-1 and overturned that deficit in a spectacular manner. This hasn't happened before or after that time. So these two are up against one another again. Now Unai Emery has lost the first leg by a 2-goal margin. They lost by 3-1 in Paris. In Paris, they need to win at home by 2 goals or more in order to at least send the match to extra time or win or qualify outright. Now it's really, really hard to go against this PSG. They've been incredible since the start of the season. Only a handful of losses. Incredible form on the road. They only lost to Arsenal and Bayern Munich on the road, and there's a bunch of matches that they played in the Champions League, the Ligue 1, the Coupe de France, that's the French Cup. So they're on I think 11 match winning streak on the road. And of course that includes a couple of 4 or 5 cup matches against teams from the lower divisions. But it also includes a 2-0 win away at Liverpool, and wins against some good teams in France. So they're pretty unstoppable. Now, here's the thing, though, on a coach level, Aston Villa's Unai Emery has reached the final of a European competition 5 times in his career and won 4 times. Actually, none of them was in the Champions League, but they were in the Europa League, Champions League little sister, if you will. And he's also been to 8 semi-finals, so he has a bunch of experience and knows how to handle situations like this. And let's be honest, the 2-goal margin isn't something unreal to overturn for Aston Villa. The unreal thing is that they have to do it against this PSG, who, yes, they do have a curse of folding in the Champions League. In recent years, they've folded, and with better teams. They got Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe at one point and couldn't even make it past the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So this is kind of a cursed PSG side, but now they shifted to a more youthful side. They have a bunch of talented youngsters, so they're playing really, really good ball. And again, it's really, really hard to go against them. However, I think Aston Villa again, with Unai Emery at the helm. They only lost, I think, twice at home. They only lost to Arsenal by 2-0 back in August, in match day 2, and to Crystal Palace in the Cup. And they faced a lot of good teams there, and they haven't lost. They didn't lose to Liverpool. They beat Manchester City. So this is a team that rarely loses at home. So I think at the very least, Aston Villa could at least get a draw. So looking at the odds, PSG are plus 110 favorites on the road. Aston Villa are plus 225 underdogs at home, and the draw is at plus 275. The Asian spread is set at half a goal. So essentially Aston Villa are getting a head start. So I like that. I like Aston Villa plus half a goal at minus 125. It's trending downwards. The price is going to get worse the more you wait. So I think Aston Villa to not get beat. So Aston Villa double chance essentially at minus 125 is the way to go here. Again, this is a crazy match. Anything can go. And PSG, I wouldn't be surprised if they just outplayed Aston Villa once again. But again, Aston Villa are really hard to beat at home. They have a really good, a coach that knows these competitions very, very well, and he's been actually one of the most successful coaches in European soccer. So I think at the very least, we're going to see a tight match, and Aston Villa maybe taking a 1-0 lead. For example, PSG, I like the total is set at 3. I kind of like the under here, but I'm not going to go there because I think that PSG have no reason to open up whatsoever. Aston Villa need to be careful not to open up because conceding a goal would mean that they need to score 3 in order to have a fighting chance. So all in all, I think Aston Villa to not get beat is a very realistic way to bet on this match. So it's at minus 125. The more you wait, the worse it's going to get. It might move to minus 130. Maybe the line moves to a quarter of a goal. So move fast. Again, this is hardly a best bet. This is just a lean for me. But I do think the logic is there for Aston Villa to not lose this match. Again, we have a 5% Champions League top bet going live on Wednesday. We're 22-10 with this on a 22-10 run with 5% totals, and 10-4 lifetime in 5% UEFA totals for plus 23 units. Use code SOC7 to get 7 days of soccer for just $49, and you can find all this at wt.buzz/pl. Good luck with your bets and God bless.